So, I'm just kind of like, this is personal, by the way. I'm just sharing something kind of like a diary of sorts. I think this will be healthy for me. It'll be good for me to put these thoughts out there and just kind of get them said, get them off my chest, and that way I can move forward. I'm having a hard time. I'll just jump straight into it. I'm having a hard time. Not that not in that kind of way. I'm certainly not. No. Hear me out. I'm getting ready to move back to San Francisco. Um, oh wow, this is going to be a much bigger story than I expected. Where do I start? I live on disability. I'll start there. I live on disability, and I've got a cat, and we've been living in Harrisonville, Missouri for the last few years after my mom passed away, and I came back here. But I can't afford to stay living here. There just aren't enough resources in Missouri, and so me and my cat have to move back to San Francisco. And we're getting ready to start that journey here in a few days, or a couple of weeks, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. It's going to be a long journey. And, oh, pardon me, if you hear her, she's in heat. So, she's making noises. Anyhow, crap, I need a cigarette. It's okay. Okay, so yeah, she's in heat, and I've got to get us to San Francisco, and I think we're leaving here probably in a few weeks. I get paid on the 1st, and so I live on a very meager disability income. It's not much. I should be getting an extra $200 a month because I don't use any health insurance of any kind. I don't need it. I have never been really hospitalized or gone to the hospital or anything in 40 some odd years because I don't need health insurance. That probably raises obvious questions about my disability. What do I want to say about that? Because I don't want to get too much into that. I'm disabled for mental reasons, but I am not mentally handicapped by any means. I'm not unable to think or to speak or to reason. I just handle things a little differently than probably everybody, but that's just me. Okay, so we're headed to San Francisco soon, and it's not a trip I'm looking forward to, especially not with a full-grown cat that's not fixed, because I just didn't feel right about doing it, and so I never did it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. It felt like torture and torment, and it didn't feel like it was something that I had the right to do. I know that's probably really weird, but that's just how I am. I can't force myself on somebody else, I don't have that sense of like, I don't feel like I have the right to do that, to just spay or neuter an animal. I don't feel like I can impose myself upon them in that way. I don't think I have that right. I know that we often assume in our society that right, and this is a topic for another time, but I can't assume that right. I've never been able to. I roll all my own cigarettes. I don't pay full price for cigarettes. These things cost me like $5 a month. They're that cheap. They're incredibly cheap. They don't cost me much at all. I don't spend money on brand name anything. And I certainly don't have my cigarettes pre-rolled when I buy them. They don't come in a pack. I live very much below my means. Missouri's just too expensive because there's no assistance whatsoever here. San Francisco offers more assistance than Missouri does, and because I'm a veteran, there's also other things available for me that aren't available in Missouri. So if we're going to survive, we have to get to San Francisco. I had an apartment there. I lived there for 7 years. The first year I was homeless, and then I acquired her while I was in San Francisco. And I loved it there. It was a good time. I mean, I really enjoyed myself. I got to know myself out there, and it's a beautiful place. It really is. And there's a lot of help. Once you get there, you've got a long but fairly easy road ahead. If you know what you're doing, life on the streets there is not that difficult. It's where I learned how to be homeless, really. I mean, if you want to say there is such a thing as learning how to be homeless. I'm sorry about that. There's really nothing I can do about it. She's trying to attract a mate, and for some reason she thinks that's attractive. I don't have the heart to tell her. Maybe you want to tell her. I don't want to tell her. I'm sorry. Anyway. Why am I making this? I guess just to journal. I guess this is just my way of journaling and sharing with somebody so that, I don't know, perhaps there will be some sort of conversation, or someone in the world will know what I'm doing, and maybe I won't die or something. That would be cool. I'd like to not die on this journey. That would be great. But I do invite anybody and everybody that wants to follow this journey to stay tuned and listen in, because I'll probably keep posting these if this goes well. And you can all follow me on my journey if you'd like to. I wouldn't mind having you. It'd be good company. Might just even save my life, who knows. So I just got to get me and this cat safely there, and I'll be able to get us there on a bus, hopefully, on payday, or somewhere thereafter, because I would like to set things up so that, if possible, I don't have to be homeless. But I know there are certain rules that will have to be met along the way that may make it impossible for me to get out of being homeless. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. It'll be an interesting couple of weeks, or months, or years, who knows. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later. Bye. So, what you're watching right now, and what you've been watching, these are all photographs that I took. Everything you're seeing is my artwork. These are my photos. I put all this together so that you could see where I lived in San Francisco and what it's like down there. To me, San Francisco was getting to know myself. It was getting to know the world. And it was the first time in my life there was no safety net. There was nobody I could call. There was nobody that could pull me out of harm's way. When I got out there, it was just me. For better or for worse. And this is the city that I found when I got there. Prettier pictures are a little bit later, after the first year, because as I said, I was homeless the first year. But I wasn't homeless for long, and once I found my place, I held on to it for several years. I loved it there. It was absolutely wonderful. It saw me through the pandemic and all of those days. It's going to be a different world post-pandemic, I think. Based on the research that I've done, talking to the AI, San Francisco's recovered pretty well post-pandemic. So that remains to be seen, but this is the San Francisco I know. The San Francisco I remember. The San Francisco that I left behind, and that I'm returning to now. This is home. Anyway, I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of the slideshow. I'll talk to you again soon.